Since the dawn of civilization, humanity has been drawn to its own reflection, not merely out of vanity, but from a deeper need to understand the self. The first mirrors were not objects of craftsmanship at all, but gifts of nature. Ancient people gazed into still pools, lakes, or water collected in clay vessels, seeing a fleeting image shimmer on the surface. To them, that reflection was mysterious, even spiritual. Many early cultures believed that a person's reflection was tied to their soul. Distorting or breaking that reflection was considered dangerous, a possible wound to the spirit itself. The earliest man-made mirrors appeared around 6000 BCE in Anatolia, in what is now Turkey. They were crafted from volcanic glass, obsidian, carefully cut and polished to a dark sheen. These mirrors, found in Neolithic burial sites, were not merely tools of grooming, but sacred objects, used in ritual and buried with the dead. Later, civilizations like Egypt and Mesopotamia learned to polish metals such as copper, bronze, and silver until they could reflect light. Egyptian mirrors were often small, round discs of polished bronze, fitted with ornate handles carved in the shape of the goddess Hathor, the embodiment of love, music, and beauty. To Egyptians, a mirror represented the sun, the eye of Ra, and eternal life. In ancient China, mirrors developed a dual purpose, aesthetic and mystical. As early as the Zhou dynasty, around 1000 BCE, Chinese artisans cast bronze mirrors with smooth reflective surfaces and intricate symbolic engravings on the back. They were believed to reveal truth and repel evil spirits. Some Chinese legends spoke of magic mirrors that could expose demons disguised as humans, a notion that persisted for centuries. The Greeks and Romans improved the quality of metal mirrors, but still faced the limits of metallurgy. Roman women often carried small hand mirrors made of polished silver, while public bathhouses displayed large bronze mirrors to reflect the light of torches. These mirrors, however, gave a warm, distorted image, closer to an impression than a likeness. The first experiments with glass mirrors appeared in the 1st century CE, likely in Roman Alexandria. Craftsmen applied a thin layer of molten lead or tin to the back of glass. It was an extraordinary innovation. For the first time, reflection was sharp and bright. But the process was costly, inconsistent, and dangerous. Glassmaking itself required mastery. Clear, bubble-free glass was rare, and molten metals often corroded the surface. As a result, glass mirrors remained a curiosity for the wealthy, and most of Europe reverted to polished metal for centuries. During the Middle Ages, mirrors became both precious and suspect. Polished silver mirrors adorned the chambers of nobility, while the church often viewed them as instruments of vanity or witchcraft. A mirror could capture the soul or summon illusion, according to medieval superstition. And yet, despite this suspicion, mirrors held an irresistible allure. By the 13th century, Italian and French artisans were experimenting with glass discs coated with a mixture of tin and mercury. The process involved pouring liquid mercury onto a sheet of tin foil, then pressing a piece of glass over it. Once the glass adhered, the excess mercury was drained, leaving a highly reflective surface. But this process was extremely dangerous. Mercury vapors poisoned generations of craftsmen, slowly eroding their health in pursuit of perfection. Then came the Great Venetian breakthrough. In the 15th and 16th centuries, on the island of Murano, Venetian glassmakers achieved a level of mastery that astonished Europe. They learned to produce crystal-clear glass, known as cristallo, by removing impurities with manganese dioxide. The surface was so pure it could be compared to frozen water. Onto this flawless glass, they applied an ultra-thin layer of mercury tin amalgam by hand, creating mirrors with extraordinary clarity and depth. The exact proportions of mercury, tin, and glass temperature were state secrets. The Venetian Republic guarded the craft with draconian laws. Master glassmakers were forbidden to leave the island, and spies who attempted to steal the formula were executed. These Venetian mirrors became the most coveted objects of the Renaissance. They transformed the interiors of palaces, reflected candlelight like liquid silver, and symbolized status and intellect. A single large mirror could cost as much as a warship. Kings and queens competed to own them. As the secret of Venetian glass slowly spread, France became the first to challenge Venice's monopoly. In 1665, King Louis XIV founded the Manufacture Royale de Glaces in Saint-Gobain, the royal glassworks that would one day create the mirrors for the Hall of Mirrors in Versailles. To achieve this, Venetian craftsmen were bribed or even kidnapped and brought to France. Their knowledge revolutionized European glassmaking, allowing larger and clearer mirrors to be produced. These mirrors transformed interior design. Walls once covered in tapestries now shimmered with reflected light, turning dim palaces into radiant spaces. For the first time in history, people could see themselves not as blurry shadows, but in almost perfect clarity, and the result was the Galerie de Glaces in the Palace of Versailles. 357 mirrors reflecting the glory of the Sun King. By the 18th century, mirror production spread across Europe, though it remained dangerous and expensive due to mercury poisoning. Many workers died young, and factories near Paris and Venice were infamous for their toxic fumes. But the quest for perfection continued. In 1835, a German chemist named Justus von Liebig revolutionized the process by inventing a chemical method to deposit a thin layer of metallic silver onto glass. Instead of mercury, he used a solution of silver nitrate reduced by formaldehyde, which allowed silver atoms to adhere evenly to the glass surface. This discovery made mirror making safer, cheaper, and far more precise. By the late 19th century, silvered mirrors became accessible to the middle class. Factories in England, Germany, and America mass-produced them for furniture, dressing tables, and architecture. The clarity of reflection changed not only how people saw themselves, but how they perceived the world. For the first time, an ordinary person could see an exact image of their face. Portrait painters began to use mirrors for self-portraits. Writers and philosophers pondered the relationship between self and reflection. In the 20th century, mirror technology advanced alongside science. Aluminum replaced silver as the preferred reflective layer because it resisted tarnish and was easily applied through vacuum deposition, a process in which a thin film of metal is vaporized and condensed on a glass in a vacuum chamber. This innovation not only improved clarity, but also revolutionized production. By the mid-20th century, mirror manufacturing became highly automated. Factories could produce flawless sheets of glass coated with metal in seconds. Mirrors began appearing everywhere, in cars, elevators, cosmetics, cameras, and even spacecraft. They were no longer rare or fragile, but precise, reliable, and affordable. The mirror had entered the modern world, an industrial object shaped by both science and design. This innovation made mirrors suitable for precise scientific instruments. Giant mirrors became the eyes of telescopes, observing galaxies billions of light years away. Microscopic mirrors now guide lasers and fiber optics, enabling surgery, communications, and even quantum computing. Yet despite all progress, the mirror remains deeply symbolic, a companion to human consciousness. It reflects not only the face but the passage of time, the truth, and sometimes illusion. From obsidian stones buried in ancient tombs to space telescopes gazing into the origins of the universe, the story of the mirror is the story of human curiosity, the eternal desire to see, to know, and to understand oneself. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment to join the journey through history. See you in the next video.